I follow some mental health pages. I think it's like affirmations or just like quotes and little things like that.
There's one guy, like he was a Buddhist monk, and he has like inspiring quotes, and yeah, that really helps me sometimes. Yeah.
Actually follow some account about psychology.
Well, I think that we all know that Dutch adolescents' mental health is worsening. We know that a lot of adolescents these days experience mental health complaints, and they usually do not get the help they need. And that's because it's very hard for them to find help. They usually find it very hard to go to a therapist or to a doctor. And even when they're there, they put on a waiting list and they have to wait for another couple of months. And even though our mental health professionals do their ultimate best to help adolescents, we simply do not have enough professionals to help all these adolescents since there are so many. So we have to look for alternative ways to help these adolescents to improve their mental health and to flourish. And adolescents spend a lot of time on their phones, we all know it, a lot of time on social media. So it may be ideal if we could help them to use social media in a way that they improve their mental health. We can imagine a few reasons why adolescents would use TikTok to self-diagnose. First of all, I think that because adolescents find it so hard to seek help from a psychologist or a therapist, they just go to other sources such as TikTok. Adolescents who experience complaints, they want to know obviously what is wrong with them or why they are feeling that way. And so TikTok may be a kind of easy way to find information about what is going on with them. I think it's actually kind of similar to how adults use Google or WebMD to find information about like a headache and then come to the conclusion that they have a brain tumor. It's kind of similar to that. I also think it's because they just want to feel supported. Adolescents who feel like there's something wrong with them or who are experiencing mental health complaints usually feel very alone. So they feel they're the only ones in the world who are experiencing that their friends don't experience the same things and they don't want to stand out. In adolescence, it's so important to belong to a group and to not feel the weird one. And then they go online and they see all these people who are experiencing similar things. And then putting a label on yourself, self-diagnosing yourself, may lead to the feeling that you belong to a group. When they're in this group or community with all these other people who also feel like they have depression or an anxiety disorder, they also usually support each other. The comment sections and the videos are usually quite loving and supportive. So it's also very nice for them to feel that kind of support. And then third, I think also that it has a lot to do with the algorithm and other features of, for example, TikTok. They look for a video once and then afterwards they see thousands of videos. So if you look for anxiety and then afterwards you see a video, or like you see a lot of videos about how maybe being scared for a presentation is a symptom of anxiety, and then you start feeling scared for a presentation once, then you might think, okay, so I have anxiety, but that's not everything to anxiety. So they jump to these conclusions too fast because of the algorithm shows them this information like continuously, and then they start believing it.
I think sometimes I come across some advice, but I don't actively search for it.
Because I also think that Instagram is bad for your mental health, actually. So, okay. Yeah.
I think a lot of scientific articles, but also popular media are very much focused on the negative effects. We're like bombarded with articles about how bad social media is for mental health. But actually in the scientific community, there is this kind of consensus that social media in itself is not bad for mental health, but it's about what you do online. So if you are scrolling continuously and looking for idealized pictures and comparing yourself to that might be very bad for your mental health. But if you're looking for information or support for your mental health, maybe it is quite positive. And we were a bit surprised that we actually didn't know whether that's the case. There's not a lot of research on this at all. So that's why we came up with this topic, to see whether there are any positive effects, but also see if there are any negative effects. We really want to get a more balanced view of social media for mental health.